this is not gonna be a fun process, but we gotta get through it. So what I always like to do is have everything laid out. I've counted everything, and I have counted how many I found of each item right next to what it says it's supposed to be. So I know I have every item, okay? I even counted how many screws and things like that. Even when it says that you'll need like 154, you don't want to be short. If it says it has 8 extra, then I would kind of trust it and maybe not count that much, but definitely for stuff like this, 16 of these, you want to make sure you have, you know, stuff like that. So I have ordered my parts, A, B's, and C and D, just so I can find it easily. So I have A's, these are the B's, C, D, it messes up there, but I just keep going. E, F, G was one of these. It would be I, which is here. J, K, L, M, N, O, P. As you see, you know, they don't have all the letters. I have my toolbox back there, but the first step here for this specific vanity with no knobs is to put push pins at the bottom. I believe this is to help it glide across the floor without scratching. I am not so sure, so I'm gonna come back and do that later. But now we're gonna move on to number 2, which is to separate the CLs. So you need, up here, you'll see that you need 7 CLs in your hardware that you're gonna use to install it into the number 8. On the side here is the number 8. This is the number 8. You're gonna put 6 of these A pieces. So I'm gonna open the A piece, put 6 of those here, here. Okay, so that would be, I make sure I have my line turned the same way as their line is. So that's why I have my line on the left. And our first A's are gonna go to those big holes. So once you see that, you see the A's go at the big hole, or the small holes, sorry. The medium size holes, small, big, medium. Medium size holes are for A, okay? So I'm gonna do that and I won't bore you. This is just my startup thinking. I wanted to just explain my thinking and how I know how to do stuff. And from here on, I'll just kind of show you the steps after I do them. Okay, so this is really important because I did it wrong the first time. You see how I'm gonna turn it the way that it has it. See how on the display it has the line to the left? Make sure you have the line to the left, and then pay attention to where the roll is, the wheel. The wheel is away from the line, it's on the right. So the wheel is on the opposite side of the line, on the right side. I did it wrong the first time. I did all of these wrong the first time. So we have our A's screwed in to the medium-sized holes. We filled our small holes with the E screws, right? They're labeled. Okay, so this is step 1. That means that we're doing piece number 9. This is 9, it's just the labels on the other side. But you see how the line is on the right? I'm gonna make sure I have it on the right this time. We're gonna get 4 A's, because there's only these 2 medium-sized holes, or on this one, these are the large size. 4 for those. And then 18 pieces of E, but I'm doing these first. Okay, righty-tighty. Start it with your hand. It's okay if the paint or the wood comes up a little bit. As long as you're trying to get it on there straight, it should press it firm. Okay, this is the main tip I'm using, by the way. It is magnetic, that's why you see that. I've also used this smaller one. Okay, so from the bunches I already separated, I went and grabbed all of the CRs. You see the CR here. So that just leaves pretty much just the DRs and the DLs, I believe, right? So I've got my 6 CRs, and then I'm gonna go ahead and install them with the E's. I'm looking. the wheel is away from the line, so I get it lined up. And you should see, if it has 3 holes, then you should see 3 holes. So that means it goes in the top holes. See, 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, so step 4, they want you to take a number 17 and put it to the 2 A's. So I'm gonna put it this way because the line is perfect for something to slide in. Then you're gonna screw the B's into these little holes here. This is the B. I was able to do it with this righty always equals tighty. So you put the screw in there and you turn it to the right. Okay, it's on there. Do the same with my 16 on the other side. Just as it said. Now I gotta figure out what the hell this part means. They want me to take the 8 and the 9, which I have there, and I guess attach it to what's down there. So let me do that. Okay, so now I have my 8 and my 9. See how these lined up? I'm just gonna get those in there, and then I'll have to go around the other side and screw. Yes, they get chipped. You gotta turn it till it fits in. And then righty tighty. It should be locked on there. Now don't forget these two. Okay, 10 and 11 block piece, 10 and 11. Apply these across from the line. Now I'm pretty sure we're gonna put both 10 and 11 together using, correct the B bolts, and 17 and 16 again, which is over there. So we're gonna do the same thing to these two that we did to this one. Righty tighty. Do it to the same back piece here. Okay, so that was 7, now 8. It looks like it wants me to stand both of these up and slide the piece 18 and 19 in there. Okay, it says 18 goes to 8 and 9, so try to slide this in here. Sorry, it's hard to do while I record. Let me do it. Okay, now it's saying it wants you to get 2 12 blocks and then 1 CL metal bar and then 1 CR metal bar, and you're gonna apply them with ease. Okay, this part gets tricky, but for the 12s are the same, but CR, where you use the CR bar is where you use the big holes, right? The big holes. Where you use the CL bar is, see, this side where there's a 3, but there's no other holes. Okay, that would have tripped me up if I hadn't made that mistake earlier. So very important to pay attention to stuff like this. So right now I did the CR first because it was easier for me to understand. Now I'm gonna do CL. Okay, so I guess because it's supposed to be 12 E's, and so far if you do it like that, I only have 6. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this one already has a CL. I'm gonna do the CR on this side and then a CL on that side. All right, this is where it gets confusing, so I'm gonna cut this off here, and the next step, 10 and after, will be number 2, or part 2, sorry guys. Okay, so we're leaving off on part 9. Bye. And there we at part 2 of assembling this very large vanity. Okay, we did parts 1 through 9 already and went over all the parts. Okay, so now part 10, jumping into it, paying attention to the small details here. Looks like there's only 2 holes going this way, 3 going across, so 1 2 3 going across, compared to on this side where there's 3. So just really make sure that you're looking at stuff. Also, I want to make sure I see that the dot is facing up, so, and it's a small one, so whatever. We know this is the piece. We're gonna grab our 2 12s, and then it looks like it wants us to use the D and C. So I believe the C is going to, so the wooden thing is probably gonna go here. Let's see. Looks like the middle So I'm gonna go here, and yeah. So grab your C and 2 C's. Just gonna, this is the hole that it fits in. So there's the 2 C's. Probably gonna get 12 with, and like this. It says that, okay, so I have the wrong one. So this one's gonna go down there. This one, because the track has to be with the wheel facing that way. That's how I know. These are gonna connect here like this. Alright, whatever. However the fuck it wants to do it. We getting really deep into it now. So I took this D and then I screwed it in there. And then again, it'll go there. And I'll screw and I'll make sure I hold it and it's getting tight. I can't do it and record, I'm sorry. We've done it to both. Now let's see what it is. If you look closely, it looks like I'm gonna take 15 next. And I'm going to apply it on top of 13, right at the edge. So let's see if I can make this work. All right, now listen, I did this wrong, okay? Didn't pay attention close enough that there's only 2 dots for these 12s that you want to connect to the 13, but there are 3 dots here. And I think I didn't see that. I was putting it on the wrong side. So now I know that the 2 dots instead of the 4 dots go here. So this is the right way. This is the wrong way to connect the 12 to the 13. I hope I'm not confusing y'all more, but I had to just flip it again. I didn't have to unscrew, but I did notice that these big holes were towards the bottom of the 13 and not at the top like I originally had. So I should be able to apply these goddamn 15 now. Jeez. Okay, so once I got everything to lay completely flat, I screwed all of these D pieces into all the holes that look like this. This is what D piece would look. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I even drew with the pencil where I've already done screws so I can kind of zero in for this next piece they want me to do. So I'm gonna screw this last one and then we'll move on to getting 14 to attach to probably the end here. Okay, so I've got 14 here, which is this last one. It's gonna go down there. I put the wooden pellets in where the wooden holes are. I'm gonna attempt to just lay this on there. You want that to line up. So, got that. Get it all in there. Ugh, hold on. All right, it's flat. Now we're gonna take the D's to screw right into here. All right, moving on from step 10 to step 11. Looks like it wants me to flip this to where this has a back over there. So flip that, pick it up, and put it to these 2. I'm by myself and I just had surgery, so this part I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna put 2 wood pellets here, same on the other side, right there, and probably one right there. I don't know how I'm gonna do this by myself, but I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, it took a very long time to maneuver it and get it flat, but I do believe I have it fleshed at the 2 conjoining parts. Now these are holes for D, so we're gonna screw the D into both of these holes. Screwed all 4 of those holes. We are on to step number 13, where I'm gonna grab the number 3 piece of wood, 11 A pieces, 8 M pieces. So for the first step of 13, they want you to put these M's like this. All right, all around those little holes. Screw those in using, honestly, I don't even BLUESKY. Okay, luckily I used my last brain cell to feel that there were actually screws already in here. So all you need is what's in package M. But there is screws in here that are not marked as anything other than just package M. A little confusing, but so apply all of these to all those small holes, damn it. Here's, I took the screw that came with it. I'm just gonna slow drill it. You do the A's, screw all of those in according to the picture. Now we're on to step 14, which is where I guess I lay it down. It looks like I gotta apply some wooden parts, so I'll show you where to put that next. Because I'm pretty sure the wood is gonna end up going into these larger holes, I'm just gonna put them onto what I'm lowering down. I find that that's easier than trying to lower it on top of, you know, stuff sticking up. Right on top of what I had previously done. Because we used the wood, now we know we have to go in with those B bolts. And pretty sure you gotta go around all of those. Okay. So we're looking at the back of this now, I can tell, because see the hole. So we're looking at the back of it now. Looks like they want us to put A's across these small holes, and then we're gonna end up having to put some backing support. So A's here, 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 here. All the small ones, so not that one. All right, the next step after that looks like something that need multiple people for, so this is going to be the end of part 2 of building this, but part 3 will come as soon as I have somebody to help me. Yeah, so we're going to end off at part 15. Okay, so this is part 3 of assembling the Fusou Vanity. So left off on this part, now I'm looking here. I did have to flip my mirror around because of the way that I opened it. So this is part 1, meaning piece number 1, and here you see there's many different holes. These small holes are going to be where you put the A screws that we were using in previous videos. So we're going to go ahead and add all of our A screws to all of these small holes, just as it says here. Okay, so now that we've done that part, let's move on here. They want us to grab 4 and 5. 4 and 5. They want 4 and 5 to be connected by a wooden pellet and then solidified with wooden pellet. This one here, I do have to be careful. Looks like they want side with the large holes on top, and then bolt it there. K part using E screws like that. Alright, so now I gotta go pick up the pieces of wood that are labeled 6 and 7, 6, 7, or whatever the kids say, 2 of each, so they're over there. You want those, and you want the B, because you're gonna go strap some. Okay, the only reason I know I have mine facing the right way, yes, I'm moving it while it's still in the box. I don't want to take it out until I have somebody else here with me, but there's a little hole there that wasn't filled with the A screws. There's the same there, so that's how I know that the 7 goes here, then 6, then 7 again, then 6. As you can see here, there's no holes on the outside of the 7, so that means that the 7 is going to be facing this way, and the 6s are going to be facing with the big holes facing this way. Okay, so this is the 7 facing this way, 26 is facing that way. Once again, the last 7 is facing this way, and then I'll install the last 6, which is over there, right, facing that way. Okay, so now it looks like for step number 22, they want you to grab 3 20s and basically just hard wire the lip onto this drawer. So you're gonna start with getting your A pieces and screwing them into the holes on the 20s. So you have your 20, you gotta get your A pieces started, right? You know, whenever there's an A piece, that means that you're gonna go in with a B piece for the wood. So you wanna screw all your A pieces into the number 20 wood. Okay, so once you've done that to all of your 20s, you wanna grab one of the drawers, it looks like. And it's gonna go, the line is at the bottom. You're gonna connect it to the drawers. And on the outside is where you'll use that B screw. Okay, B screw. Right in there. Okay, so now for step number 23 is when you put the tracks on. Using a number E piece, you want to get your DLs and DRs that we put to the side. So anyway, like I said, closely here they have the DR, which is right here. You remember the engraving is on the side. They want the wheel away from the lip. I call this the lip. So that's how we got it here. And then you're just gonna use your E screws to fill in the holes. Okay, now that we've done that, we were able to put them in the slot. So yay, we're getting there. Okay, so now 24. Step number 24 is when you build the rest of the drawers. So you gotta build 12 of the drawers. For the other 12 drawers, you gotta get number 27 as the middle piece, and 22 and 23 are the side pieces. Pretty much the same, you just apply it together with the Q screws. Okay, so after you've done that to all of the drawers, next is step 25, where you attach the front piece. You're gonna use the 25, and you're gonna use the A to put all of the screws into these holes. So use your A's. After you attach those screws to the A's, put it into your drawers, and you're almost done. You just use the B to tighten it. So now that we've done that, and all of them have the lips on there, you have to put the tracks on. So the DR goes on the left, the DL goes on the right. Okay, so after you have your lip facing this way and you screw the DR on this side and the DL on this side, they should be able to slide in. Okay, so for the next step after 26 is to basically put all the drawers in. Number 28 is to go ahead and grab the glass and put some buffer stickers, it looks like, on the metal parts that we put in there. So I'll show you. Okay, so here it tells you to grab the F. Here's the F pieces, I think it's the stickers. Put the stickers on the metal part here. Okay, and of course I can't record while I do that, but now we're gonna lower the glass over all of the soft putty. Okay, once you lower it, it should look like that. And lastly, they would like for you to build the stool. So, pretty sure I'm not gonna end up using this stool, but I'm gonna build it just for you guys. Okay, it says you need N pieces, you need P for the screws, you need some C's, and the U. Take your number 31, it says, and then put the N bracket on with the P's. Attach it like this. Okay, do that to the other 31. Okay, now that I've done that, looks like they have two 31s facing each other, a 28 in the middle, but I'm not sure about that yet. I see they want me to have the 30, so I have the 30 on the side that has 2 holes on both the left and the right and 2 in the middle. So that's how I know it would go like this. I'm gonna grab the C and put it in that middle hole on both sides. Now that I've connected that using the C's, I believe we're gonna go ahead and turn these U's, oh, right, tight, to attach these here. Yep, it's getting tighter. And you use the tool that came with it because it's like that octagon shape or whatever. Here, I can't do it while I record, but yeah. Okay, so I screwed those on. I'll do the same to that. Okay, it looks like it wants me to grab 28 and attach it in the middle here. Like that. Now you grab your last 30, making sure that you have all of the multiple holes on the inside. So 3 holes on the inside. So you can put the wooden pellet on the inside again, like this. Go ahead and attach it. Like that, and then you screw the back again. Okay, after you're done with that, looks like you can finally grab the cushion and the P pieces. So I see it's got some pre-drilled holes. I'm thinking that we have to put this on top of here. So here. Okay, I've got the cushion on the bottom. I think you're supposed to screw it through there. Okay, using the P screws, I was able to screw it in there. Okay, so that is it for the bench. Here's what it looks like together. The final step is to cover any of the holes with stickers that you would find in the O package. And it even suggests that you drill a hole into the vanity. Looks like they marked a small dot. I don't know if you can see there, but to screw a mirror on there. I'm not gonna do that, I'm tired. I hope that this helped. Here is the finished vanity. I hope that if you lost the instructions, yours didn't come with it, or if you just simply needed help doing manly stuff by yourself, I was able to help you.